Jingle of a dog's collar. Okay, so let me just jam through all the different sections, and after I play all the sections, I'll give you all the details. Do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button. You'd be helping out my channel a whole lot. I'd appreciate it. Okay, so let's get through it. Okay, so to start, we have this high-voiced intro riff, and this is also part of the chorus, so we'll see it come up again here later. But we're going to be here in this section where we're on the A to the B, 6 on the E, and we're just going to alternate between those two. Okay, so we're going to do 8B to the 6E. You want to kind of hold this first 8 on the B for a second, you know. Okay, now we go 6, 8, 6, 8, 6. Okay, so just kind of bouncing between them there. And then we shift down to this spot where we're on the 6B, 5E. And this, you hit a couple of those 6Bs, and now we alternate between that 5E to 6B about 3 times. Okay, so that first bit is just something like that, okay? And for the intro, you want to go through that section about 3 times. And then to wrap it all up, essentially this part we're doing here is what happens in the chorus. Okay, where we're going to be on that 8, the first half of it, that 8B, 6E, play it the same way. Okay, but from here, we're going to come up to 10B with the 9E, and what you want to do here is just essentially play them together, but we're going to slowly bend that 10 on the B. Okay, this would be something like this. And you want to strum it about, 5, 6 times, something like that. Okay, so just slowly bending that 10 while holding that 9E. Alright, so now we just play this whole thing together now. Alright, so it sounds something like this. Alright, and once the verses come in, we're essentially doing the same type of thing. We're just kind of at a different octave now. Okay, so we're going to play it here where we're on the 5D with the 3G. Alright, and you essentially want to just play that the same way we did the intro parts. Hit that 5D, hold it a moment, and then alternate a couple times between the 3G, 5D. So it'd be like, okay, and then similar to there, we just shift down to the 3D, 2G, and play that the same way. We go a couple threes on the D, and then go back and forth between the 2 and the 3 a couple times. So it's, okay. Alright, and that's basically what's just happening throughout the verse. Alright, so up to tempo, it'd be something like this. Alright, and then I guess there's a pre-chorus section. It's kind of the vocal, it's What Do They Know About Love, that section. And essentially it's playing exactly what's happening in the verse. We just add one tiny little thing. Okay, so it's just going to be that same thing with the 5D, 3G, and we'll play it the same, but at the very end of that little section there, instead of just ending on that 3G, we're going to come to a 5G. Okay, so it'd be something like this. Okay, it's just a tiny little difference, but it's there if you want to throw it in. All right, and we just finish it the same way with the 3D 2Gs. Okay, so play that up to tempo for you. Okay, so now we get to the chorus, and as I mentioned at the intro, it's essentially the same parts as the intro, but it's almost like we just kind of flip them. All right, so we're going to start it by doing the 8B, 6E, but this time we come up to our 10B, 9E and do that bend. Okay, and then we finish it by doing what we did the first time in the intro. Okay, the 8B, 6E. Okay, and then we come down to that 6B, 5E. Okay, and with this on the chorus, you don't really do it exactly like the intro. You don't really pick between them, alternate pick them. We just play them at the same time. Okay, something like that instead. All right, so chorus pattern will be something like this. And now we get into these interlude sections. There's two of them, and they're kind of doing the same thing. The strumming's a little different on them. The first interlude, we're just kind of playing some straight up, I think he's just doing some eighth note strumming here. And it's going to be a high voice G minor chord. And we're going to play it here with the 6E, 8 on the B, so kind of like that intro bit. But now we're going to add that 7 on the G. And like I said, we're just going to do about a measure's worth of eighth notes on this. So it's just like, okay. All right, and the next measure, all we do is just take that shape right there and just shift it down a fret. Okay, so now we're 5E, 7B, 6G, and just strum this, eighth notes worth of a measure here. So. Alright, and the whole interlude, we're just bouncing between those two chords. Okay, so it sounds something like this. Alright, and during these interludes, there's kind of like an organ sounding thing that happens there. And if you want to play those notes, it's just a few notes. You come up here to the B, we go 15, and we just do a measure of that 15. Okay, and then go to 14. Okay, back to 15. Just before that measures out, hit 13 on the E. Okay, and then 14 for the next measure. Okay, this would be something like. Okay, once that second interlude comes along, we're going to shift to some higher voiced chords here. We're going to be up here at the 13 E, okay, 11 on the B, 12 G, and the strumming is a little more of a shuffle on this, I guess. And you want to do a quick 5 strum on this. Okay, and then we kind of break for a second, and you can hit like a dead strings, something like that. So it's like, all right. And then we just do a couple more strums quickly. Break for a moment with the dead string, and then we just hit it one more time. Okay, so it's kind of an interesting strum here, but this is what's happening slowly here. Okay, that type of deal. Alright, and essentially once you get that strum down and find that chord shape, all we do is just, for the next measure, is just shift that down a fret. Okay, so 12E, 10B, 11G, and strum that the same way. Okay, that type of deal. Alright, so that first half of it, alright, and we'll bounce between those two higher voiced chords about 4 times, and then after that we just shift down to the spot where we were at during the first interlude. Okay, so that 6 E, 8B, 7G. Okay, and we're just going to strum that the same way we just did the higher voiced chords, and just a measure's worth of that. All right, and then just down a fret. Okay, and just do that about 4 times. All right, so this. Okay, and now we get to this big dramatic ending here, which is kind of fun. Basically, we're going to just do a upward arpeggiation and back down through a G flat minor chord here. So it's going to be way up here where we're doing 9E, 10B, 11 and 11 on the G and D there. And like I said, you just want to upward pick through that, okay, all the way up to the D. Okay, pick down through it, back up to the B. Alright, and now we just bring that down a fret so that we're at a F minor now. 8E, 9B, 10G, and 10D. And then just pick up through that to the D. Okay, so we went. Alright, now we end with these big chords here where it's a A minor. Okay, and you could just do, I like to do the bar chord version of this. So just bar the 5, 7, and 7 on the A and D. Okay, bring it down to the 2nd fret for the G flat minor. And then finish on a D minor. Okay, so just try this up to tempo now. There's not really a tempo to it, but it's just up to speed, so let's say that. Thanks for checking out the video, everybody. Like it, share it, leave a comment. It's always good to hear from you. Do me a favor and hit the subscription button. I put out a video pretty frequent, so you don't want to miss out on that. Check out the links in the description box below. I have really cool links for tablature books, all the gear I use, t-shirts, fun stuff like that. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.